Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Canadian Football Central, CFL content for the fans, by the fans. And we got another signing coming up as the Winnipeg Blue Bombers re-signed CFL veteran Patrick Neufeld to another, it's just a one-year deal. Is that right, Rick? Yeah, one-year contract extension with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, as he was scheduled to become a free agent in February. So he's probably coming into, I have to imagine, closer to the end of his career, his last season. But then again, we never know, because then you have guys that are going into their 40s playing. Like, even I remember, like, we had done our player interview with Sean White the other day. He's hoping to play till he's 45. So you never really know in the CFL. It all just kind of depends on how his production goes. Patrick Neufeld predominantly plays right guard for the Bombers, and he's been in the CFL for forever. He started with Saskatchewan, played 2 seasons in 2011 and 2012, and then has been with the Bombers ever since. He's just been a consistent, reliable guy. He won both Grey Cups with Winnipeg in 2019 as well as 2021, and got ever so close on every other time after 2021 for Winnipeg. And so it makes sense why they want to keep him around. As if you really think about it, this Bombers offensive line, it's had its ups and downs. It's had its years where it was the absolute best. It's had its years where it was right at the bottom of the league. And it's one of those things where Patrick Neufeld was on every version of it. And I think that's kind of a relatable thing if you really think about it. Like, I play hockey. I love playing hockey. I've played on some good teams. My God, I've played on some bad teams. And so it's one of those things where, you know, that you can't really fault the guy for it. But he's a Canadian talent, so that's very good for your ratio sort of thing. He was born in Regina, Saskatchewan, went to school in Saskatchewan, played for the Huskies, and has been in the CFL ever since. If we look at kind of the offensive line of the Bombers this past year, Bombers were it's weird. The Bombers were in the middle, sort of. What I mean by that is they were kind of on the bottom end of things. They gave up 37 sacks, which is kind of fourth worst, as Toronto gave up 56, Edmonton gave up 51, Ottawa gave up 47, then there's Winnipeg with 37. So, you know, they kind of they were in a bit, but the thing is as well, is as much as they're near the bottom there, they're also, in terms of number of sacks, they're actually closer to the better end of things than the worst end. You know what I mean? They're on the they're on the better side of that median scale. You know what I mean? And so it's really kind of a mixed bag. Now we do know that there's gonna be some changes, as Colin Kowski ended up with the Hamilton Tiger Cats, so the Bombers are gonna need a new center. I don't think that they're gonna move Neufeld there. I don't see that happening. I think Winnipeg will have someone else fill that role. Who that's gonna be, I'm not sure. Just because I think you want to keep him at guard. You know what I mean? It was just really, just a really consistent spot to have him. Because if we kind of look at the Winnipeg depth chart here, just for a second here, because it was pretty much him, and I actually thought him and Randolph worked really well together. I liked Randolph at that right tackle, and so I think they'll probably try to keep that. And I think there's also a lot that can be gained if you really think about having a younger guy next to him, and a lot that he can learn from him. As Kendall Randolph is only 27, you know what I mean? He's a lot younger, and so he's going to be in the league naturally for a lot longer. He did really, really well at the right tackle position, and I think part of the reason why is having a guy like Neufeld next to him. I think being able to go in and Neufeld being like, hey, you know, when the next play happens, look for this, look for this, look for that. Wouldn't be so, like, I'm not saying that, you know, I'm right there and I'm hearing it all myself, but I'm saying I wouldn't be surprised if that's how that goes. Just because I remember even when I was as an offensive lineman, when I played in high school, when I got to first year varsity, I remember a couple of my guards coming up to me and be like, hey, you know, remember this? They try to do this. I noticed this. And I'd be like, yeah, you know, that makes sense. And it kind of just little pointers like that give you more to look for, help you kind of improve your craft. And so I think that's something that he can really offer the Bombers. And I wouldn't be surprised if a guy like Pat Neufeld, after he retires, ends up in a bit of a Jake Thomas situation where he ends up a part of that coaching staff. But for now, he's going to stay a part of the team. he re-signs on a 1-year deal, and we'll see if he extends past that in the future. But all in all, no complaints. Anything else you got there, Rick?
Nope, just that your team's getting younger and younger.
Yeah.
All the old players are going a
There
different
is a bit of a
route.
transition moving on with the Bombers. That is true, but we'll see how that goes. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make
Yes.
sure you guys leave a like, share it around, and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, if you guys haven't, make sure you guys join our Discord. Link in the description below to our Discord where we discuss all things CFL related, all sorts of other stuff. So make sure you guys go there and keep the conversation going. And before we get going, Rick, you have something to mention?
Yes, on February 10th, we will be doing our Free Agent Frenzy live stream 10 to 12 hours. So come stop by and see what news we will be breaking as the day goes on.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for checking out, and we'll see you guys next time.